Today we are in the 10th chapter of history, Akbar and his brothers. In the previous video, we discussed about Babur, then Humayun and about Sher Shah. So in this chapter, we are going to study about Akbar, son of Humayun. So when we talk about Akbar, he is considered as the best and the greatest ruler of India. And what made him greatest, that is the new things which he introduced and how he dealt with each problems that all make him the greatest of all the times. So when we study about Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar, we have to see so many things which is introduced by him. So here this is the first part of our class. In this part we will discuss about Akbar, about his early life and the second battle of Panipat, which made a tremendous change in the history of Mughals. And then we will start about his conquest, then his Rajput policy, his administration and the uniform coinage and the weights and measures used by him. This is the topic which we are going to deal in this first part of our video. So let's start with his early life. Akbar. He was born in 1542 and during that time it was the condition was not favorable. Humayun, during that time he was in exile, he was wandering during that time and in that time he was born. And after about when he was 13 years, it is said that in his 13 year 4 months he was appointed or he was made as the emperor or the ruler of Delhi after the death of his father. His father died in 1555 and during that time he became the ruler, Akbar became the ruler. So when he became the ruler, he was just 13 years, so a regent was appointed called Bairam Khan. He was looking after all the affairs. And when he was appointed as the ruler, there were so many problems he had to face from all the sides, and these problems were dealt by Bairam Khan. And when he became the ruler, this Afghans, that is the Sher Shah's nephew, he was the ruler during that time. He was waging war against Delhi because he found that this child is very small and there is nobody to look after the country. So he waged a war and his general was Hemu. He with his army came to Delhi and started fighting with the people or with the army of Akbar. And this war we call as the Battle of Panipat. The Battle of Panipat, which happened in 1556, it was fought between Hemu and Bairam Khan, the regent of Akbar. So in that battle, what happened? In that battle, Afghans were defeated by Bairam Khan and Hemu was killed. And after that, after many years, when Akbar was appointed as the ruler, in the year 1560, he became the ruler. And when he became the ruler, slowly the power of Bairam Khan was curtailed because Bairam Khan was a person who was not having many sentiments. He was like a person who is a professional in warfare and defeating the empire. So he reduced the power of Akbar, reduced the power of Bairam Khan, and he became a nominal one, and Akbar he took the power. From 1560 he started his advent. He started defeating so many places like Bengal, Bihar, like that so many places were defeated by him, and he also sent some of his people or some of his embassies to south to Deccan region and asked the rulers of Deccan to accept his power. And when they denied or when they said that they cannot accept the power of Akbar and gave him a yearly tribute, he started waging war against them and defeating them. Like that slowly he started defeating so many places. Some were directly under his control and some were indirectly under. Indirectly means they have to pay personal or annual tribute and get the protection of Akbar. So this is all about the introduction about his starting or how he started his advent and how he started ruling his empire. Now we will move to the next topic, that is Rajput policy of Akbar. Rajput policy of Akbar, we can say that he was lenient towards every religion. He He was a very diplomat and he accepted and considered everyone equally. His Rajput policy was very good at the beginning, and he made so many like Toranwal, Raja Man Singh, Birbal, all these people belonged to Rajputs or they belonged to Hindu community, and he accepted them and given them high post. But later, those people who stood against him, he crushed them. So we can say that Rajput policy of Akbar was very good, and along with that, when he became the ruler, he took two ways to enlarge his empire. The first one is matrimonial alliance, and the second one was to defeat the countries. So in matrimonial alliance, he married the daughter of Bharamal, that Harka Bai. She belonged to a Rajput family. Like that, he married Hindus and also Muslims, and he one of his main way to expand his empire was this matrimonial alliance and making a relation with the Rajput. And those who stood against him, he crushed them. Now coming towards the next one, that is administration. When we talk about the administration of Akbar, his country was divided into two categories. That it was according to central administration and provincial administration. Central administration means the country was looked after by himself, or in the center it was ruled by him, and so many people were there to help him, like Wakil, Wazir, Kasi, etc. Like that, so many people were there to look after each department. Like this Wazir was a nominal head, means minister, but just for a namesake. And then Wakil, Wazir was his Diwan, and then Kasi was his judicial head. Like that, so many people were there who looked after each and every affair in the center. But the judicial head, the religious head, and the head of the administration was completely in his hand. The final word was from Akbar. Now when we move to the next one, that is provincial administration. The provinces, there were 15 provinces were there. Each province was looked after by, so it was called as Subhas and looked after by Subedas. Diwan was there who looked after the revenue. So like that, his country was divided into two categories, or the administration was in two levels, central and the provincial administration. Now coming to the last one, that is uniform coinage system. Coins were minted. Rupee was his coin, a silver coin introduced by him. There were so many other coins were there, and the least one was Jindal, and the biggest one was its name is that is Shahenshah. Shahenshah was his main or the most important or the highest one. And like that, so many gold coins, silver coins, copper coins were introduced by him, and he used that also. And now when we talk about the weights and measures, earlier in his empire, weights and measures were different. Means people used different weights and measures. It was according to the product, according to the area they divided, or the weights and measures were different. But when he became the ruler, he unified it. He started making the weights and measures almost the same. We cannot say that it was completely equal, but almost the same. He made so many changes in or for making the weights and measures same. So these are the main topic which we have to deal in the first part of our video. In the second part, we will study about his Din Ilahi, his religious and his art and architecture, improvements or the buildings built by him. So we'll move to the next part of our video. In that you can see the summary of this chapter, or the first part of this chapter, where all the important points are given and fill-up questions are also given. So you have to study that and understand that and prepare for the exam.
Let's continue the topic with the summary of the topic, Akbar, a case study. This is the first part of the chapter, Akbar and his times. His original name was Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar, and he was born in 1542 at Amarkot in Rajasthan. His father was Humayun, and he ascended the throne in the year 1556 after the death of his father Humayun. At the young age of 13 years and 4 months, he became the ruler. Though he was a minor, so he was his country, and he was also taken care by a regent called Bairam Khan. Second Battle of Panipat. In the year 1556, it was fought between Hemu and Bairam Khan. The second Battle of Panipat was fought between Mughals and the Afghan forces led by Hemu. It took place at Panipat in 1556. The army of Hemu was defeated and Hemu was captured and executed. Bairam Khan occupied Agra and Delhi. Agra became the capital of the Mughal Empire. The next topic is Akbar's conquest. To expand his empire, Akbar adopted two methods. First one was direct conquest and the second matrimonial alliance. Akbar conquered Malwa, Gondwana, Gujarat, Bengal, Bihar, Kabul, Kashmir, Sindh and Kandahar. To bring the Deccan Sultans under his control, he first sent his embassies to Khandesh, Bijapur, Golconda, Ahmednagar. But when they refused to accept his overlordship, he waged war against them and annexed Berar, Khandesh and Ahmednagar. This is the empire of Akbar, which is given in yellow color, was under his control, and later the places were annexed or attached, defeated and joined with his territory by Jahangir, Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb. Rajput policy of Akbar. He followed a policy of friendship towards Rajputs. He appointed the Rajputs at high posts in administration, for example Raja Todarmal, Raja Man Singh, Birbal, etc. He also made matrimonial alliance with Rajputs. He married the daughter of Raja Baramal of Amir, Harkabhai. Akbar followed an aggressive policy towards those Rajput rulers who refused to accept his suzerainty. Akbar fought with Rana Pratap of Mewar at the Battle of Haldi Khati in 1576 and defeated him. It's very important that year and the battle, it was fought between Rana Pratap and Akbar, the Battle of Haldi Khati in 1576. Administration. Administration was in two levels, central administration and provincial administration. Akbar's system of central administration was a combination of Persian, Central Asian and Indian tradition. It is explained in the literary work of Abul Fazl Aini Akbari. The emperor was the supreme authority and he took decisions in all matters political, military and judicial. He was the commander-in-chief of the army and the supreme judge. He called himself the representative of God on the earth. In this portion, this Abul Fazl's Aini Akbari is very important. Council of Ministers. Wakil, Prime Minister, is only considered as a ceremonial head. Then Wazir, Diwan, Head of the Revenue Department, Mir Bakshi, Head of Military Department, Mir Saman, in charge of Imperial Household Royal Workshops called Karkhanas. Khasi is the head of judiciary. Then Imani Aam and Diwani Khas was there for listening to the problems of common man and for the officials. So Wakil, Wazir, Mir Bakshi, Mir Saman and Khasi. You have to learn what are their works and which departments they look after. Provincial administration. Akbar divided his vast empire into 15 provinces or subas. The provinces were governed by Subedar. Subedar controlled both military and civil affairs. Diwan, important minister in the province who kept records of the land revenue. The provinces were further divided into districts and villages. A number of officers were appointed to manage the affairs of the district and villages. Uniform coinage system. Akbar wanted to establish a uniform coinage throughout his empire. He introduced a silver coin, copper and gold coins and with an open minting system. This open minting system means if you bring gold or silver or coin, you can get coin minted. The silver coin used by Akbar was rupee. The copper coin was called paisa, dam or paisa. Copper coin was called jital. It was the least coin. It's a least amount. The most common gold coin is ilahi and the biggest one is Shahanashah. Akbar also unified the weights and measures in his empire. So you have to study the names of the coins, silver, copper, etc. Now some fill-up questions are given. This also you can write and you can learn. The second battle of Panipat was fought between Hemu and Dash. Akbar was born in the year Dash. The Rajputs were defeated by Mughals in the battle of Dash in 1576. Wazir was the head of Dash department. Provinces or subas was governed by Dash. dash was a silver coin issued by Akbar. So that is all about the first part of this chapter. You have already seen the class, and now this is just a summary, and after listening to the summary you can try to find the answers of these fill up questions, and your question answers are already uploaded in the site and you can learn that, and if doubts are there you can ask. Thank you.